Welcome to another Liquid Bullet Productions, and today we're going to be taking a look at drug king and criminal mastermind Curtis "Cocky" Warren. He's said to be one of the richest villains in Britain and has amassed a fortune of up to £450 million and allegedly still runs his criminal empire from behind bars. Curtis Warren is a deadly character. He's streetwise, low-key and very bright. He is also one of the richest villains in Britain. Warren is so wealthy, he placed 40th in Britain's 500 rich list, making him the highest ever ranking gangster in the list. Much of his money is in secret tax havens and Swiss bank accounts. For years, Liverpudlian Warren was the main agent for Northern Europe for the Colombian Cali drug cartel. Warren makes the Krays look like amateurs, the Great Train robbers and the Brinksnap villains look like second division. His nickname comes from Cocky Watchman, which is a slang Scouse term for dodgy dealer. The police have said Curtis Warren may not be much to look at, but he's one hell of an operator. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't take drugs. But he does have a photographic memory for phone numbers and bank accounts. The police were looking for where he kept his stuff, and a computer and notes. No, all inside his head. The key to Curtis' success was cutting out the middleman and getting deals and direct links to the drug cartels himself. He got cocaine from South America, cannabis from Africa, quality amphetamine and ecstasy from Holland, and heroin straight from the poppy fields of Afghanistan. He would get shipments and sell on a third to drug dealers in other countries and would be in profit before his team would even hit the streets in Liverpool. In the 80s, Cocky was known for waving guns in people's faces. By the 1990s, he left that to his team. No one dared cross him. For years, Curtis Warren evaded the police by paying hundreds of thousands of pounds to corrupt officers. After twice evading police, Custom and Excise launched Operation Crayfish to catch the biggest fish they were after. In the spring of 1995, Curtis Warren's main man, Johnny Phillips, had a face-off with amateur boxer and rival David Ongi. A few weeks later, David Ongi was shot dead in the street, causing chaos in the streets of Liverpool, and a gang war ensued. 11 people were killed or maimed over the next month. One man was so badly chopped up by machete it took the pathologist over 7 hours to piece him back together before a post-mortem could be carried out. The police thought Cocky Warren was behind many of the crimes, and the Wild West style antics drove Warren to Holland. The killings in the streets were getting in the way of his operation. In 1996, Customs intercepted 60 kilograms of cocaine at Dover port. At another port, a ton of cannabis was also seized. Police attribute both to Curtis Warren. These close shaves forced Curtis to reorganise and create individual cells, which meant if the operation at one went down, he still had the others. While Curtis was busy reorganising the structure of his organisation, and from his home in the Dutch village of Sassenheim, there was a 30-strong team of police and MI5 officers monitoring his every move. A few months after Curtis had set up shop in Holland, he sent one of his dodgier mates, Stephen May, to Colombia to set up a deal for 400 kilograms of cocaine. It was to be packed inside lead ingots to dupe the X-ray machines and then be sold on at a 2,000% markup. The result of this raid was Curtis Warren was sentenced to 12 years in jail in a maximum security prison in Holland. In court, Warren's plan was shown to be the shipment of South American cocaine to Bulgaria. Shipped to his vineyard, the drugs were then suspended in wine for onward shipment to the Netherlands and Liverpool in the UK. In total, police had retained illegal goods, drugs and wine valued at £125 million. However, further forensic accounting investigation only found 20 million of his estimated fortune, and none of that could be legally touched or confiscated by the Dutch police British police or Interpol. On the afternoon of 15 September 1999, Curtis Warren had a fight in the prison yard with a Turkish national who was serving a 20-year sentence for murder and attempted murder. The other prisoner was yelling abuse at Warren and walked towards him and tried to punch him in the face. Warren evaded the punch and a short fight ensued, during which the other prisoner fell to the ground and Curtis Warren kicked him in the head 4 times. The prisoner got up again and went for Warren and was again punched to the ground. It is here where he hit his head and became unconscious. He fell to the ground and never recovered and died in hospital. In his trial defence in 2001, Curtis Warren said he acted in self-defence. Finding Warren guilty of manslaughter, the Dutch judge commented that the defendant had used excessive violence and sentenced him to an additional 4 years from his release schedule date in 2014. In 2002, the Dutch police, still investigating the Bulgarian shipment, obtained an asset seizure order against Curtis Warren. Although they could only find £180,000, they legally charged him to repay 26 million guilders. Under the Proceeds of Crime Act, I'll face an additional 5 years in prison. This would have extended his release date to 2019. After a legal discussion ensued, Curtis agreed to pay the Dutch police 15 million guilders. In February 2005, Curtis Warren was charged by Dutch authorities with running an international drug smuggling cartel from his Dutch prison cell. He was moved around 6 prisons during his trial for his own safety, and he was found guilty but successfully appealed and was released from prison in June 2007. He travelled back to Liverpool, driven in a Lexus. Refused a passport by the British, Irish and Portuguese governments, the UK series Organised Crime Agency then followed Warren's every move as part of a lifetime offender management programme under the codename Operation Floss. Under Operation Floss, just 3 weeks after being freed from prison in the Netherlands, on Saturday the 30th of June 2007, the series Organised Crime Agency called Jersey Police to inform them that Warren had arrived at Manchester Airport and paid cash for a plane ticket. Observed in Jersey with known Liverpool associate and now Jersey resident Taffin Carter, the pair drove around in Carter's VW Golf to various locations, including the isolated St Catherine's Breakwater. With drugs at 3 times the street price in Jersey compared with the UK or France, after Warren returned to the UK, Jersey police created Operation Koala, monitoring and bugging various locations including phone boxes and the home of Taffin's girlfriend Suzanne Scar. From this they discovered that a friend of Warren, John Welsh, intended to travel to Amsterdam to meet with known Warren associate Moroccan Mohamed Lazad. Jersey police wanted to bug Welsh's hire car from St Malo, but were refused permission by French and Belgian police, saying it was a breach of the European Convention on Human Rights. In what Judge Sir Richard Tucker later described as reprehensible and an unlawful act, Jersey Police, which is not signed into but bound by the ECHR, bugged the car anyway, and with Dutch police and the series Organised Crime Agency and Interpol, they monitored the transmissions. In 2007, Warren was arrested in St Helens over a conspiracy to smuggle drugs after a joint investigation involving Jersey Police, Merseyside Police, the series Organised Crime Agency and law enforcement from Belgium, France and the Netherlands. He pled not guilty and there ensued a 2-year legal argument over the legality of the information obtained by bugging Welsh's car. After agreement that there was sufficient evidence from other sources to substantiate the case, Jersey Police offered him a deal of pleading guilty to an 8-year jail term and no confiscation of assets. Warren turned this down. The Metropolitan Police agreed to lend Jersey Police a manned armoured transfer vehicle so Warren and his associates could be transferred safely during each day of the trial. The court heard that there was no drugs had been imported as the Jersey contacts had failed to come up with the money. Senator Ben Shenton raised concerns that Warren's legal representation was at the cost of the Jersey taxpayer, and while in progress, Jersey raised concerns that the entire resources of the Jersey drug squad had been targeted at Warren. Warren was found guilty on the 7th of October for conspiracy to smuggle cannabis. He was sentenced on the 3rd of December 2009 to 13 years imprisonment for his part in the plot. Jersey police are also investigating into his wealth with the aim of confiscating his gains from drugs trafficking. In November 2013, Warren was ordered to pay a $198 million confiscation order in the UK or face another 10 years in prison. On March 27, 2014, it was reported Warren lost an appeal to this and failed to pay the order and would remain in prison. Curtis Warren also made the headlines in the North East in February 2020 when prison officer Stephanie Smith-Waite was jailed for 2 years after she was found to be having an affair with him while working at the high-security HMP Franklin near Durham. After spending nearly the last 25 years in prison, Curtis Warren is due for release sometime this year. Curtis Warren has also been named on a list by the National Crime Agency as someone involved in organised crime who has been issued with a serious crime prevention order. In Curtis's case, the prevention order restricts him for at least 5 years of using cars, owning property, any stocks or shares, transferring or buying currency in any form. Drugs baron Curtis Warren, now known as one of the most notorious European drug dealers, will be sent back to prison if he breaches the restrictions. That about covers Curtis Warren's story so far, but watch this space. With his release imminent, I'm sure his story is far from over. If you're enjoying our narrated content so far, or any of our content on the channel, please share, spread the word, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you.